It's
drinking.
It's cold to the. It's like
Cold to the what?
No,
to the
60
tip?
degrees. It's like 60 degrees. You put in a cold cup, it's fine.
Oh,
We're gonna find out.
We're a day.
the
you know, we're a
cup's
few
not
days,
even cold.
We're a few days out of Halloween. What? Why is only? I felt one of the cups it was cold.
Mine's not.
And those they don't.
Mine are. I use these in my freezer ever since he showed me the idea.
I didn't really. How did I show you that? Literally, you can go buy a 10-pack of these.
No, I meant like I just, saw you had them.
Anyways, that was the intro right there because I was totally recording. So
Good, well-
that's great.
Well, we're right out of Halloween, so we're just gonna jump straight into Christmas beers, and this one's actually one of my favorites. It's from Great Lakes.
you can really tell that he worked most of his life in retail because that's what every retail does.
You know what I like about Christmas?
Nothing.
The cold. I love Christmas, actually. But
The
my
cold.
favorite thing about Christmas is
Buddy,
the
it's
cold.
70 degrees in December now.
I'm just saying.
I love being cold.
You're not-
A
I'm
crisp
just
70
trying to round it
degrees.
out to a point. I love the cold weather and cold beer. And this motherfucking beer is not cold.
No, it's not. But it's fine. It's fine. I mean, we're German style, right?
This barrel aged, about to slap your mouth off.
Anyway, welcome to the Elsa podcast.
That's the worst pour I've ever seen.
Mine?
Yes.
No, I was about to say mine's horrible.
That's
Yeah.
a Jordan pour for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I was talking and then I went like
True.
this. I went from tilted to doing that, so it messed it all up.
I fucking
But yeah,
apologize.
go ahead. Talk about the. Do you want to talk about Great Lakes?
Yeah, Great Lakes. I mean, they're out of Cleveland, Ohio, and they make great beer. This is by far one of my favorites that they put out every year. Generally, this is aged in a Buffalo Trace barrel. They've since gone to not disclosing which barrels they're getting for their releases. But you can still get the Buffalo Trace aged at the brewery if y'all ever make it out to Cleveland, Ohio during the holiday season. Jordan, you look excited and ready to go. It's almost like something big happened in Louisville football.
First, I want to say this beer was aged in bourbon barrels on the hills of the Sahara Desert. Warm as shit.
And we got it straight from a barrel.
I think it's delicious.
Oh, it tastes good. It just,
I was about to say, honestly, I mean,
for a room temp beer, it's pretty solid.
I'm really not like.
All right, fuck
Freaking
the
out
beer.
about
Louisville wins, baby! Fuck Clemson. Probably can't even hear that. Was that really hard to hear?
A little bit.
I'm pretty sure you clipped out like 3 or 4 times.
I
Guaranteed.
think this is when I go, what? I can't hear it. I'm the only one with headphones in the the only
Louisville
person.
stomps in to Jeff Valley and lays their sack right on Dabo's head.
I mean, you're not wrong, and I'm also gonna be the one that calls out the elephant in the room. Where the hell
Was that
was
defense?
that defense all year long?
Man.
Ron English.
He woke up. He heard his job was on the line and he woke up.
We should literally every 3 or 4 days before every game, we should just be like, hey, you lose this game,
You're cooked.
you're probably
You're done.
fired.
You're
You're
done.
probably fired.
We should just tell Ron English he's fired if we lose the game. Like every time, just hey, your job's on the line.
I mean,
We never lose another game.
no, because that defense was unstoppable. And there was nothing that Clemson could honestly do one way or another to keep in that game. And I mean, realistically, on paper, they didn't play bad. They led in every stat.
On paper,
and possession time, and literally everything.
on paper, we shouldn't even have won that game. If you look at the stats, Shuck threw for 150 yards. You look at that game, I look at those stats, I'm like, how did we win this game?
No idea.
The defense won the game.
Yeah, you're
Defense
not wrong.
wins games.
Every single time we need the defense to step up, it did. Clemson ran over 100 plays and was held to. I mean, in all honesty, outside the garbage time touchdowns, we held them to a touchdown.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean,
We had already done our damage. We had scored 23 unanswered points and went up 26-7 before they even started getting anything going offensively, and we were in prevent mode from that point on.
yeah, and I mean, you got to think about it too. We had two block field goals. How many yards total offense do they get on those 2 drives?
Speaking
'Cause
of that,
they got most of the way down there. So
if there's one thing Louisville got, it's a special teams, boy.
you ain't wrong there.
That unit all year long has stepped up.
Who's our special teams coordinator?
I have no idea, but give that guy a
I was about to
raise.
say, we should know about him by now.
Put the world on Nody.
He's about the only.
Put the world on notice for someone I don't even know.
Hey, you
Put me on notice.
You gotta find out eventually. But no, I mean, realistically, that was a team that that was a must win. You know,
That was a great
We
win.
talked about it last week.
Program history.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how clenched were your cheeks when
Whole
you missed
time.
that first field goal?
Oh,
Clenched. My cheeks were clenched the whole game. But near the end of the game,
You
I'm
must have
like,
butt
I
cramps.
went from.
oh, boy.
I
My butt was hurting at the end.
I definitely went from drinking.
Pause.
From drinking beer to.
No diddy.
I'm gonna go play with myself today.
I definitely went from drinking beer to straight bourbon. As soon as we missed that kick, I was like, all right, well, it's gonna be a long night that
got
I
a
have
little-
to sit here and watch. So
I got a little drunk that night. I can't lie.
you get a little
Yeah,
drunk
that
every night.
4 beers got you drunk.
Whatever.
So take us through the game, Jordan. You said that you were, what was the, and I quote, I'm going to be on ass. Run us through the game. Let me know how you feel.
Oh, I mean,
And I need you to speak more than you did in that live after the game because Roman Kelly
Hey.
ate up the entire atmosphere.
I couldn't talk.
with speech.
It's all right. He was excited. We all were excited.
Shout out Roman Kelly,
Hey.
Four Loco guy.
If you're pounding Four Locos like that, you know, you got some words to say after. I can't hate. But the whole game, man, I was feeling great. I couldn't believe what we did, to be honest, and I'm happy with all facets of the game. Again, our stats on offense weren't the greatest outside of our boy Isaac Brown. He had 150. Which is unreal. That dude is going to win Freshman Offensive Player of the Year.
If he doesn't, I'm gonna be super mad.
It would be just asinine if he does it.
I have one question. So the $4 million donation that they got, was that one donation or was that multiple? Like it was just a.
It didn't happen. The Jeff Brom we trust guy was drunk and lied.
I did not see that at
Yeah.
all. Oh wow!
I think I
All right.
saw.
Yeah, he walked
The-
that back.
Well, and then the other guy confirmed that it was not. He
Yeah.
said, "We'll accept any
Dan
form."
Furman.
Yeah.
He kind of made a joke out of it the very next day.
But
But when you take a look at Isaac Brown, the stats don't lie. Just over this year alone, big name running back Ashton Genty. I hope I'm not butchering his last
Jonty.
name. Jonty,
I think it's Jaunty.
Genty, Gene T, whatever it is.
The dude plays on the blue field.
He's-
that guy.
So he's averaging like 8.2 yards a carry, and this is over 100 carries for the entire season.
Yeah.
Isaac Brown is averaging 7.7. So when you think about the production that's on the field, that's a guy you want to get because other dudes going to the NFL. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name.
And
anymore.
you got to look too. He's getting way more usage too. The Jaunty guy. That
I was
guy
about to
gets
say,
the ball
I-
like a zillion times a game.
Yeah, they don't. I don't. After like looking at his carries and stuff, I don't think they really pass very much. And if they do pass, I don't think that they have a very reliable backup. Which I mean, you know, you got to think Isaac Brown's also sharing with Duke Watson, and you know,
Don't even say the other name. No offense to that guy, but Duke Watson and Isaac Brown should be the only ones touching the field. Only ones.
Which is crazy because let's be honest, we also have our RB1 technically hurt. Mm-hmm. So
Maurice.
yeah,
And Keywan Brown's not bad, but I was speaking more to, what's his name?
I don't know. You're the one
Donald
talking
Cheney.
about
Donald Cheney, yeah, who can only get 1 yard and that's it.
Jordan just doesn't care about you once you don't produce. He just
Oh my
forgets your
God.
name. And
I'm
You're
sorry.
done. You're done. Shuck, you better not have one semi-bad game.
Shuck's
or-
the
But I
guy.
will say, if you have a JA as your first two letters, he will remember
Oh
you
my God.
for life.
Jakari!
And last year,
Oh, Jamari, yeah.
already forgot about Jamari
All right.
Thrash.
If you are not in a Louisville uniform, I don't care about you. I don't even care if you win. And if you're either in a Louisville
I'm
uniform
surprised. Listen,
or you're Lamar Jackson.
I am surprised he hasn't gotten any field time whatsoever. But I mean, I can't explain it, how he hasn't got any field time with that their receiving corps is pretty abysmal, is it not?
Who's
Since
that?
Cooper, the Browns.
There you go. That's good podcasting now.
Well, I figured everyone knew what I was talking about when I was talking about Jamar Thrash, but with Cooper leaving, you'd think he'd get some play. But
Nah, that's how I go into Cedric Tillman, baby.
Cedric Tillman, I picked him up in my fantasy league.
So did I.
He's
Our
dude's
fantasy
just-
league.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Dude's a stud
I think,
for sure.
I think you have to have a good quarterback to worry about your receivers.
You're saying Jameis Winston isn't a good quarterback? That man got LASIK surgery. Hall of Fame.
He got God on his side too.
I love Jameis. I was more just talking about, which I know he's not starting now, and he's hurt. But I think everyone knows how I feel about.
You forget Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, yeah,
That guy's a bum.
he never played. He played for Clemson, so
That guy should never play another game of football in his life. He's atrocious.
bless you.
Let's talk about the other elephant in the room.
Are we not even going to get into the Clemson game at all?
Oh yeah, let's get
I-
into it more. Go ahead.
I was
Sorry,
gonna go ahead.
I'm getting excited.
You're getting excited, but you're like forgetting the whole like. You don't want to run. You want to run through the game.
Run through it.
You
Let's
wanna
run
talk
through
about
it. Let's talk about it.
All right, unsung heroes. Let's go around the room and let's talk about who we think outside of the 45-yard touchdown run by Isaac Brown. What was some of the defining moments of the game?
2 block field goals.
That's huge.
I mean,
And our field goals. Brock, after the missed, steps up and how many did he peg through the goal? He put a few in there, didn't
He
he?
got pegged.
Yeah, I got pegged. What?
now we know why. Oh, sorry.
That's his butt
Brock
hurts.
stepped up though. I mean, we were calling for his neck like after the first missed one, but I mean he stepped up and he shook it off. And what was that? What was that one?
What?
You hit a button.
I was.
Will you quit? This is the worst
Ian-
podcasting. What was that? What button was that?
Don't worry about what I do.
After,
all right?
when the people that are listening listen, he's like, "What did you do? What was that?
Everything I do is for a reason. Okay.
What was that?"
All right. Listen, Kenny needed a second off the microphone, so I muted his microphone.
Oh, sorry.
That way,
All right, we'll move past that.
That way we can have good podcasting, and then you just brought us to very bad podcasting.
I apologize.
People are questioning why we keep you on the show. I'm not saying it, but people are.
I'm not saying it, but I did a poll earlier. And
Yeah. By the way, how's your poll going?
I didn't even look at it. It didn't do high.
No,
I mean,
it didn't.
was like,
That's crazy. How many?
To be fair, the yes percentage was very high.
I was 3 of those.
you can only vote once.
Podcasts,
Oh,
personal. I don't know what else.
and I fenced to.
This man's got a burner out here.
Jesus.
Oh
I
my
know, and
God.
I voted twice. I just wanted to do it for emphasis, but I was like 2 of the 19 votes.
Yeah, I was about to say it was at 17 whenever I
Yeah.
saw, and I didn't even vote like in my with my personal account at all. I was just like, I want to see like organic how many people can do it. And
Yeah, that's why we need to have a button for Jordan's take quakes because that one wasn't very hot. It didn't even sizzle.
no.
our boy Quincy Riley was all over the field like a maniac. Dude was a part of every play. That got me pretty chubbed up.
Pretty
I'm
bricked
not-
up.
Not gonna lie.
Bricked up. But anyways, I think you all are missing the point. But before any of that started happening, Antonio Watts swatting down the Cade Klubnik potential touchdown pass. He had a wide open receiver running down the middle of the field at the 20-yard line that would have put Clemson up 14-3, and that changes the whole perception of the game for us to give us a chance to blow Clemson out that way because we don't know how our team comes out and responds down 14-3 in that scenario.
I'm gonna throw in a second one. Are you ready for this? Ashton Gelati finally getting a holding call on him.
Man.
And Clemson not thinking that they can hold every single one of our players. And just like I can't fully remember when they threw was it the holding call or the pass interference call that they threw the trash on the field?
Yeah.
Because they were so mad about it.
No, that
When he
was the onside kick.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
no, yeah, you're right. But
they were booing, and
crowd got
Dabo
so mad at
Dabo threw a hissy fit on the pass interference where
And then
they
it
ripped
changed?
Ja'Cory Brooks' jersey off of his shoulder pads.
Yeah,
But apparently you're allowed to do that. They must have been upset because they had the deal with the ACC going into the game that they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
And they would get the calls. And I guess somebody changed their mind halfway through, and that made Dabo upset. Because Dabo didn't look like a man of faith in that moment.
No, he didn't at all. And yeah, and they like it was crazy because they obviously booed, but then you can always tell like the second they watch that replay on the screens, like because then everyone gets like infuriated and so mad.
Yep. And they booed. They were still hospitable towards the play.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
I don't fully.
I mean, like, I like to call out, like, phantom pass interferences, like, that would aid my team and things of that nature. But if I saw Quincy Riley rip somebody's jersey off their shoulder pad, I'd be like, yeah, they got us there.
Yeah. Well, and I do the same thing. I'll I'll be like, man, Quincy, you got to at least, if you're gonna pull at it away from the ref. They were literally, he was like, shirt from the one side to the other, right in front of the ref, and I'm like, obviously you're gonna get that called against you. Like they can't not. I mean, I guess they can because they have in the past, but no, I think like I said, Ashton Gelati actually getting a hold and them calling a fair game was a big turning point from what we've seen in at least ACC play. But even like was the Notre Dame game that was an ACC refs though, was it? Was it? Okay. Mm-hmm. See, I always get
I always get
the refs travel
team,
with you.
Yeah,
so the away. Okay,
Yeah, away team.
that's what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. I just didn't want to say it like and be so confident and sound like a dumbass.
Like
honestly.
Jordan.
I mean,
Nice.
he doesn't have a filter one bit at all, and it's on one side that's why we keep him around, but on the other side that's why I think about kicking him off the show every time. So
Yeah, no. I just
it's
you were
one of
looking
those
at your phone for the last 5 minutes. I didn't know if you knew we were recording or not.
Jose Boogie got to go before I go.
I think we might add Jose Boogie on the show before we.
True that.
If
Also,
Jose Boogie's on the show, I can't. Be
what
on the
about
show.
Chris
I
Bell?
just
That
don't
man
like
had a few explosive
Chris Bell
plays.
legacy game.
Boy,
it was.
He
It
showed
was.
out and
That
showed
first-
up.
That first catch that he had, I was
Man.
like, this man's about to. Turn
He had
up
a
this game.
pretty big rushing.
I just like how can I just point out the things that make me want to rip my hair out is that like other shows will like they'll start from the beginning of the game and talk about like the progression.
You
but,
know how
like-
drunk I was?
But like you know how much like do you know how much like autism is just like floating around
It's not
the room?
autism.
to
It's
where
lack of remembrance
I
because
can't
I
even-
was fucking
Jordan
hammered
be-
watching us
Jordan be
win.
like, man, Quincy Riley was stopping everybody, and then Brock Travelstead he hit some field goals, but he missed one. And then Tyler Shook only had 150 yards, but he did a pretty cool flip. And then he hit the
the
nay-nay.
shuck and tuck, baby.
And I don't even know how to spell his name.
Dude, I knew how to spell his name. It was part of the joke.
I don't know why, but I just got like big vibes of like I pictured Jordan as Drake's dad. If you know what I'm talking about, that interview, and he's like, Drake, I got an RV for sale, man. And that's the way that you were talking, and now I just think of him with a mustache, but with one of those thick mustaches.
Jordan could be Drake's dad.
Oh, we don't know. Yeah.
Put me in a big suit, baby.
What are you, the 2004 draft class? Anyway.
I came here. This is. I'm introducing a new segment, everybody. This is called Jordan's Takes. Jordan, take it away. I just want to get your opinion on everything. Just lay it all out for us.
What are we talking about now?
Anything you want to talk about, baby.
Putting me on the floor. I like it.
Tell us about it.
Here's
This
the
is what
big-
the people signed up for, is to hear your takes.
I don't know about that. There's not very many fans out there.
Listen here,
listening to these
1,500
takes.
followers. We need you to get some takes
I was
off.
about to say, that is, yeah, you have more followers than both of us combined.
Pays to be funny, Bubby.
And I have 1,000.
All right. I just wanted to say
I
my
stopped
biggest
voting.
take. 0-4. The curse is still on. Fuck Rick Pitino. Kentucky's ass. those are my takes. I mean, I just had to put that out there. I wanted to skip right to that and talk shit. I'm hoping that the curse continues and they lose in basketball tonight.
I think the curse is that we can never really detail a game ever. I think that's our biggest curse is we'll like jump into a topic and then it goes straight to Rick Pitino being 0-4.
100%. Jordan said he'd give Addie $20 if she yelled that at the game tonight.
Huh.
So
Yelled fuck
I
Pitino.
don't know how on board you are about this. But
I don't think her mom would like that.
no, not at all. Not one bit.
Probably come out here and beat all of us up.
Man.
Oh man, Louisville played a great game. We're going back. I mean, you wanted to reel it back in. Are we reeling it back in?
Is this the weave thing?
Bob
Is
and
this
weave?
the weave?
It's the shuck
That's
and tuck.
what. So Trump has the weave. Jordan has the bob.
I love
It's the shuck and tuck. It's definitely the shuck and tuck.
Well, what do y'all want to talk about? I mean,
Yeah.
golly, no matter what I talk about, I
Hey,
get.
Louisville started out great. We won, and then Tyler Shuck did a backflip.
And Rick
then-
Pitino's
did it from
0-4
Louisville.
since he showed up to the game.
Louisville basketball has a game tonight. Rick Pitino used to own a couple horses, and I mean, Tyler Shuck only there for 160 yards. Like,
No wonder Roman Kelly got so many words in. And he's just a producer of a podcast.
Good point.
Jordan hosts a podcast, and he's like, "Go Cards, go Krogering."
Krogering?
That's the slogan.
Fuck Kroger and that fucking shitty stadium.
There goes that sponsorship.
we have ruined 3 or 4 sponsorships, I will say, by.
We can't be sponsored by Kroger, also the name of the fucking enemy's home field.
Papa John sold to UK when they were
Papa John's is no more.
when he had the name rights to the stadium. They still had UK deals.
Yeah, well, fuck Papa John's too.
If I'm being 100% honest, at this point, I might take any sponsorship that we get. Adam and Eve, where's our sponsorship?
Blue Chew, we want you, Blue Chew.
Hey,
And we might get Adam and Eve with the whole butt thing going on
yeah,
here.
you're not wrong
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That's actually a big.
We're going to help Jordan's wife explore Jordan's body.
Ooh, little G-spot stimulator.
God,
That's a
there-
simulator.
Well,
He literally asked me right before you got here. So we're gonna have a G-rated podcast? Obviously not. He has just gone off.
I know. He said F-bomb this, F-bomb that,
Well,
G-spot this.
YOLO.
All right. Well, so since we can't stay on topic about college football and Louisville going into Jeff Valley and winning,
That was awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about the next thing we have going on right now, and that's Louisville basketball tonight. Kenny's going
Yes, he is.
7 daddy-daughter night.
Be loud for us. Can't be there.
We're going to represent. Louisville has climbed from a 16.5-point favorite to an 18.5-point favorite against Morehead State.
I think it's more. Have you looked recently? It was 21 last I looked.
Well, I haven't looked at it in the last 3 hours. Has it
I
climbed
think it's
that
like
high?
21 and a half last I looked.
Oh, that's delicious. Does Louisville cover the spread?
I think we win by 30. That's just,
Sensual.
I hope more than that. I would love to go
Sensational.
in. I would love to go in and win by, just an insane amount. But I also want to
As it sits right
Tamp-
now, Louisville is
temper my expectations. What?
21.5 point favorite. So
Yeah. So
Tasty.
It's gone up. I saw where it was like 16 or something like that at one point. I'm excited. Although I do hate. Do you remember when you were younger? Alan just commented on it and said he was talking about how Louisville basketball used to be on local channels.
Who's Allen?
The guy on Twitter.
Okay.
Cardinal or whatever his name is. Sorry.
we need more information when you speak.
Anyways, it sucks that you have to go to these weird streaming apps now to watch the game. I don't have a channel to watch it on, so that sucks.
I got a chance to watch it on. It cost me money to go to the game.
I mean, that's fair.
I wish I was going, to be honest. And I feel like a shitty fan for not going to every game, but it's just not, feasible for some folks. I don't expect you to be at every home game, right?
I'm going to every home game.
No, you're not. But yeah, I'm excited for the new era to start. So I expect explosive start. I I think we come out swinging, and as long as Pat keeps the foot on the pedal, we could really blow it wide open.
Who's going to be that guy that takes over?
At the beginning of the year, or not beginning of the year, but preseason, I was thinking it was going to be Chucky, and I still think Chucky's going to be a huge piece. But he's
coming over to my side.
Were you on Terrence? Because I think Terrence is going to be the scorer, the go-to guy that's going to be the guy that can score at will. I think Kaysen will be a pretty big part of that as well. I feel like Chucky is going to be huge as a facilitator and moving the ball and getting the plays going.
Chucky's going to be the glue guy.
Yeah, I mean, huge guy.
I agree with that. I do. I think that.
And that's not taken from him at all.
I think Terrence Edwards is definitely going to be the guy that gets you the points. He's going to be
a stud.
The person that whenever you're recapping the game, you're going to show like all of his made shots and stuff like that. But I do think that Chucky Hepburn is going to be the person that, he's going to be a stat pattern in a sense that but those stats that people don't like, obviously you're not going to highlight any of them. So,
did we have a starting lineup yet, or a starting five?
I'm not sure about that, but one thing that I was going to initiate into that conversation was going to be the fact that when you look at all the teams that are successful in March, they have a guy that you can get the ball to, and they're going to score points. Louisville has that guy with Terrence Edwards.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I don't know if that team 70 miles east has a guy like that.
I would.
They're going to hope it's Jackson Robinson, but I don't think that if there was 2 minutes left in that game on December 14th, and you need a guy to go get you a basket or two, I think we can bet on Terrence Edwards for sure being that guy.
Oh, 100%.
So are we in agreement that the point scorer, the leading scorer for this team is going to be Terrence? Yeah.
Yeah.
Assist leader probably going to be Chucky. And I really would love to see it in a developmental stage for like Connie Roos. I think he could really turn into someone that's huge. The more he plays and the more minutes he gets on the court. So
I want to see him and James Scott tonight.
Scott would be awesome too. That dude dunks the ball, and I want to get back to where Louisville's slamming the ball in people's heads. You know what I mean?
I will say that and I mentioned Chucky Hepburn and assists. I don't know if he'll necessarily be the assist leader. I think he'll get a lot of assists.
Yeah, Corn Johnson's going to get the ball, get some ball movement. Plus, we're a very unselfish team if you just look at the exhibition
100%.
games.
But I do think Chucky's going to be our main floor general. He's got a lot of energy, and he's not afraid to pass the ball. And the second that person shoots the three, or passes it, shoots a three.
That leads me.
He goes straight down, and he plays old school basketball, realistically, in my opinion. And he is all about getting the rebound, doing whatever it takes. He's going to be the person that kind of forces a little bit better play and a little bit more energy to. And
we're probably all in agreement on this. Maybe we talked about point scorer, but who do you think is going to be the dead eye that's got the highest field goal percentage, is going to be able to hit it from anywhere?
That's going to be Rain.
Rain, baby.
Yeah.
Rain is going to be that guy that can just hit it from anywhere on the court.
Rain's probably the only person that's going to consistently shoot over 40% from three every night. But that's just what you bring Rain on. That's what PK saw when he brought Rain over to this team. Is he needs somebody that could light it up. And looking at what PK was left with, you got to have a guy like that based on the recruits that you're bringing in to know that at any moment you get him hot from three and you can change the momentum of the ball game.
For sure.
Can I ask a slightly off-topic question?
Sure, Jordan.
Shut up.
If
Rick Pitino shows up, if Rick Pitino shows up to UK and they haven't won a football game since, does Tyler Shuck somersaulting in the end zone give you a little blood flow in your pants?
No, my question was, if Rick Pitino has 6 horses, 4 of them are housed in Lexington and 2 of them are housed at Churchill, who gets the Rick Pitino curse?
Was that really the question?
There are
No,
6
not at all.
apples. Oh,
No,
what?
No. My question was if there was anyone on the team, which obviously a lot of people had already like left and was already gone.
Sorry.
A lot of people already left and already like committed elsewhere or like saying they were going somewhere else. Who out of last year's team would Pat Kelsey have kept if he could have?
From last year's team?
Yeah. Like I said, it's off topic, but I'm just curious, like, you know, going from a Kenny Payne led team to a Pat Kelsey led team, who would have fit in his scheme a little bit more than, you know what I mean? Like,
Zan Payne. No, I'm just
oh my God, could you imagine? That would have been the funniest thing ever. He's like, nah, fuck you, Dad.
I like to think I feel like y'all hated on this guy last podcast. But I think Brandon Huntley Hatfield would have been the most or the best player to have kept. I mean, if I'm picking one of the players from that team, I think he has the most talent. He has the highest ceiling, and I think he's going to do well at NC State. You know, that's just me, but I don't really.
When you bring up the highest ceiling, though, I think that the Brandon Huntley Hatfield that you're seeing now is the best version of Brandon Huntley Hatfield. I think that this is the best that you're going to see him when you talk about ceiling and who I'd like to have seen Pat Kelsey develop. Caleb Glenn.
Oh, really? I was thinking you were going to say Scott Clark because Scott Clark would have been a huge one too. But
I agree with Scott Clark. Honestly, that's not who I was actually going to go with you. I think that the way he plays ball, it would have been a very good. It would have translated into the way that Pat Kelsey plays ball, not necessarily how Kenny Payne coached.
This is not a slight.
Coached was a very vague term when you're talking about Kenny Payne, but
This is not a slight towards Sky. He plays a lot of hero ball, and I think it would have been hard for Kelsey to. I mean, he had to on that team.
rein it in.
Let's be all the way fair. There's nothing against him, and I'm hoping that in Mick Cronin's system he's able to develop.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that would have looked like on a Pat Kelsey team that forces you to be unselfish.
no, 100%. I don't.
I think Sky was far and away our best talent on the team.
Yeah.
But when you ask about who you'd like to see Pat Kelsey coach, that's where I wish that Caleb Glenn would have stayed one more year.
Yeah,
He kind of, I might be way off kilter here, but he kind of gave me a little bit of a Russ Smith vibe. He's full of talent.
Who's this?
Sky.
Okay.
Full of talent, but just needed to rein in a lot because it was explosive, but it was kind of all over the place and wasn't controlled. There's no slight towards Russ. Russ was one of the greatest dudes that put on a Louisville uniform, and we love Russ. But he was very talented, very explosive. But there were plays where you're like, whoa, bring him down. Let's calm down. Let's pass the ball. Let's be a little more unselfish.
I agree with that to an extent, but I do think that Russ Smith, sometimes he got in the zone a little bit too much, and he kind of went towards that way. But I think that Sky Clark felt and kind of knew that he had to be that guy, so he did it a lot more than anybody else. So
I also think that if you did add Sky Clark to this team this year, do you get a Chucky Hepburn?
No,
That's a good point.
not at all.
Good point.
And that's why I just said that's why I worded the question the way that I did, or I said it, was just for the simple fact that I wanted to know who would you have liked to see him,
Develop
more. Not necessarily who would, if you picked one player from that team and dropped him into this team now, because
that's kind of why I like. That's kind of like why I feel like Brandon Huntley could have been a guy that was. I just feel like he could have developed more under Payne. You watched him develop more than his first year. I mean, he was not very good his first year coming out of, I think it was Tennessee, and the following year, the talent level was much higher under a guy that clearly
he definitely played
had
up to
no
being a
idea
four-star
what he was
recruit.
doing. Huh?
He definitely played up to being a 4-star, 5-star recruit.
So I feel like under a proper guide or leadership, we'll see this year. We'll see on him on NC State, and we'll see Scott Clark at, I think, UCLA, Trey White at Illinois. We'll see all those guys, how they develop under someone with a little more control or a little more, guidance.
Yep, I think the biggest thing is, like I said about Sky, if you keep a Sky, you run the risk of not getting a Hepburn.
And I don't even know what the NIL value was there on Scott. It was probably pretty high.
I think it was $750,000 is what he ended up earning. Same thing with Brandon. I'm pretty sure he earned that as well. But at the same time, would you rather have and here may be a good debate, maybe some that we just end in a couple sentences, but would you rather have BHH or would you rather have Kassan Pryor? For me, I'd rather have Kassan Pryor.
That's kind of hard to answer, but I would probably agree at this point. Again, we'll learn a lot more as the seasons progress.
Kassan Pryor is a top 20 forward in the country. Chucky Hepburn's a top 20 guard in the country. I don't think you can say the same thing about Sky Clark and Brandon Huntley Hatfield.
And what I'm also excited about for Louisville is, I don't really know how accurate this is, but I feel as if the donors and people that are throwing money towards this program, we don't know. We're at a spot where we have no idea. And you got to think that if we have a successful season and we're able to, succeed under Pat Kelsey, that those people will donate more, and we will even have a broader and bigger class or better class coming in. Not to slight this class at all, because it is a great class, but the more money you have from NIL, it opens up your possibilities.
I think that goes for both Pat Kelsey and for Jeff Brom. Obviously, we got a big kind of like push just because Jeff Brom was who he was, and he had
he had a following.
But he also needed to come in and win, and that's why like last episode I was talking about winning out. Winning out for football was. Like I said, it's more like a moral victory and looking towards the future. So, we beat Clemson. If we beat Stanford. And
not if. Don't say if.
We said the same thing about Pittsburgh last year.
If. Pittsburgh was really bad last year.
Stanford is equally as bad.
I'm not jinxing anything. If we beat Stanford, if we beat Pittsburgh.
That's my point. we should beat them. But
if we win out, we win our last 3 games. If we win out, like I said, I think it generates more money for NIL deals.
All of it goes to Isaac.
And I'm fine with that.
I
realistically am.
Give Duke a little bit. Give Duke a little bit.
You gotta have a backup. But no, I think it generates more money for NIL deals, and it also brings more recruits into the program. Whenever you
is there anyone out there that knows how to plagiarize a birth certificate? Because I'd love to see Shuck and Ja'Cory Brooke for one more year.
I don't
8 years, 9 years.
I am very interested to see. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. That's a whole another podcast. But I'm very interested to see the direction that we go with quarterback.
I would like to,
because we have 2 dudes that are here that want that job,
and Pierce,
and we don't know where Brom's head is at.
No,
I feel like I could be way wrong, but he's not going to just give the job to anyone.
I don't think it's going to be Pierce.
I think you have to at least lean towards Pierce now, just because of what his family, I feel like, has already, they brought players, they stayed. He's sat on the bench. He's been faithful to this team. That doesn't earn you a starting position by any means.
Talent earns you a starting position.
Agreed. But I don't think they're just gonna,
You think just because all the Broms went to U of L, they were just like, here you go, Brian? Or was it because Brian was the best quarterback in the country?
I'm not saying that. I still would like. We haven't even seen the on-field product a whole lot, enough to warrant who could be or will be the starter. But we don't. Pierce could be the guy. We have no idea.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna tone us back, and then kind of go on. One, we can say this. We can keep this for another. We still have quite a few games we have 3 games and a bowl game with Tyler Shuck. Let's keep it at that. And
I think that's the not to get you off, but one thing I do want to throw in there is that it is kind of unfortunate that Tyler's going to need to showcase himself in this bowl game for the NFL draft. How are we going to get to see our next quarterback in that environment if Tyler Shuck needs it to showcase himself?
that is fair. And I agree with that. And like I said, I mean, we can at a later date and after football is done, we can sit back and we can have an episode or something where we're talking about what we're looking for in the future, maybe, but at the same time, like I said, we still have 4 games with Tyler Shuck. We should just keep it at that, and we should go, I'm trying to rein us back a little bit.
Bring us back in.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring us back a little bit and give us future content. So there we go. I'm doing it twofold.
Yeah, Jordan, what do you think?
0-4. Fuck Rick Pitino.
I would like to point out the fact that I can slightly hear that, and that little ambiance music going on in the background. It's actually a nice little feature. But all right, so I'm gonna do one more thing. We're gonna do one more thing, and then we'll get to the beer reviews.
Before you do your one more thing, we talked about basketball. We talked about what our expectations were for game 1. We don't have another podcast until after game 2, which is a much heavier game. Do we not want to talk at all about the Tennessee game? And our expectations, what we think? I mean, because I think we beat Tennessee.
I mean, I would like to see. All right, here. How about this?
Are you off the train if we lose to Tennessee by 20? Are you? I mean, where is your threshold on?
I don't know. We'll meet in the middle here, okay? Let's see.
You touch tips.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
What flavor is this?
Let's see how tonight goes.
Emergency pod.
Let's see how tonight goes. We'll reassess it, and we will all 3 put in together a video of us, and we'll put it
Boing.
and we'll post it on YouTube. We'll all 3 separately do a video, and we'll post it on YouTube. So follow us at L's Up Podcast on YouTube, X, Instagram, and there. Sound good?
Sounds
Sound
great.
Good? All right. Let's get to tonight. What is your final score prediction?
Y'all go ahead. I'm thinking.
106-52. I just saw you get a little chub.
Now I got to outdo your take. That's going to be hard to do.
Jordan needs a hot
He
take.
had to lean over a little bit. He was like, "Oh shit, I got basketball shorts on."
Just for reference, this guy's dressed like Adam Sandler.
What's yours? Let's hear yours.
No, I want to hear yours.
Basketball shorts,
100,
T-shirt,
113
hat.
to 69.
Nice.
All right. So
We're going to let them have 69 points?
Just for the wow factor.
I'm gonna say 104-52. I think we double up on this.
Is this a Price is Right type of thing?
Yeah, you
it
just
is.
went
It
2
is.
under this man.
And I'm gonna ask for your permission. I won't say any of your family members' name, but can we get the guest picker for?
It is the not Dottie, daddy-daughter.
What's the score of the game going to be?
Need a number.
You got to pick 2 numbers.
How many points is Louisville going to score?
You know,
Any number.
any number between 1 to 150.
She said 100.
yeah. She said Louisville by 100. That's exactly.
Oh,
what
I
she
love
said.
that. If she just said that, I would have ripped this thing off the wall and gone crazy.
And you would have been buying us another. No, this is irreplaceable. This is.
This is priceless.
This is priceless.
This is made out of fake bamboo.
Hey, my grandmother gave me this. She's dead now.
Priceless.
Did she really?
She really. She really. To be fair,
She hates you that
To
much?
be fair, she really did. To be fair, she really did. But like, it's not like a.
Here, Bucko, there's this piece of shit bamboo table. No, I'm just kidding.
I
That
hope
was
she
mean.
haunts you.
I'm gonna ask her to.
Pray on that.
I'm gonna pray on that. But no, I guess yeah. So Louisville wins by a lot tonight. Like I said, on our YouTube channel, Hills Up Podcast, we will be bringing you a video where all three of us go through
Touch tips.
Sword fight.
where all three of us go through what
Our pants.
So how will y'all think about this beer?
Tastes like Christmas.
We'll post a video where all three of us talk about our Tennessee projections and what we think the outcome of the score will be. That way we can actually see them in a regular season game, not just exhibition. And then we will give an accurate,
Analysis.
informative analysis of the Tennessee and Louisville.
Analysis.
And it gets people to subscribe to our YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube.
And our OnlyFans.
Please like us.
Please like us.
Please clap.
All right.
The clap or just clap?
All right.
I want you to
Kenny-
give me the clap.
Kenny's got to go. He's the only true fan here. So what
We know you're not going to any games.
What was that?
Huh?
That was
Bro,
just
that
mean.
that was a fucking slight.
That was mean. Aren't you only going to the Tennessee game because you're giving free tickets?
Yeah.
Bro, and you know what? All right. I tried to stay away from it. I truly did.
They're expensive. Why are they
earlier-
so expensive?
Earlier, his exact reason for not going to basketball games was, I mean, I get it. There people.
I'm just giving you crap.
People have things going on in their life, and they can
Facts.
can't make it to every game and blah blah blah. But God forbid, let me not go to a game.
I'm just messing with
for
you.
any reason whatsoever.
You know what's funny about this podcast? I get absolutely
You.
put on a cross and
You.
crucified week in and week out, and I make one slight.
See, this is what we got to do. We got to get you fired up for you to give any good takes.
Fair.
But then when I make my good takes, you blast me.
Because they're terrible, but that's what
They're
we're
not
here for.
They're not.
That's
The
why we
only
keep
thing you
you.
have going for yourself is the Washington Commanders.
Hey,
That is literally
hey,
why we keep you.
Offer still on the table. If you want to end it now, $50.
But that's a.
$10.
I'm saving $10 here.
All right, $40.
I'm saving $10.
$40. That's the last offer.
He only wants that so that he can have one of the 20s to give me from our bet.
True. No, I'm making you pay him before I.
Oh, I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay. Just make sure you pay whenever the Commanders have much more wins than the Seahawks or whoever the hell you picked. Because those guys
He picked
suck.
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you remember the bet?
Do you not
Okay.
remember the bet? My team's number one in the league right now, so where
That would have been a wild bet. I would have had to take some longer odds than straight up. That's like plus 600 or something.
That's how you know you got the hottest takes. If you're willing to be like, you can have the Chiefs, I got the Commanders.
Yeah, that would have been wild. All right, the
right.
beer.
Tell me about this beer. What do you think?
It tastes like if you shoved a Christmas tree up the asshole of a bourbon barrel and shook it up, ornaments and all, and then opened the tap and just because it is room temperature.
one more time.
No, it's not bad. It's good. It kind of tastes like you know that smell when you walk into the stores right around Christmas time, and it's the those fucking pine cones with the cinnamon. That's what it tastes like to
I was literally
me.
gonna say it tasted like pine cones, and I was like, but in my head I was like, oh, they're just gonna think that's
No,
bad.
Christmas
No,
pine
like,
cones.
yeah,
No, it's
it-
good. It's
yeah.
good
I was
because
gonna
that
say-
smell is like one of the best smells that hit you in the fucking face.
It
when
really
you walk
is.
in.
It
Man.
really is. I agree with
And it's
that.
got this nice little hint of honey on the back end, too.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's almost like, this is what I imagine the Grinch's butthole probably tastes like.
Ooh,
No,
And you know what's
it
great about
doesn't
it?
taste like that at
You know
all.
what is great about it? Most barrel aged stuff
I
is
wish you
like
could see the face I'm giving you.
most barrel aged stuff. It really even has honey on there. I didn't realize that. Anyways,
say honey?
Yeah, it does. Good note.
It's been sitting
I
in
will
my cabinet
say
for a year.
most barrel aged stuff. I do love porters and stouts, and they're good, but they're very potent and they're hard to drink a lot or drink fast. This I could drink pretty fast. It's good.
Hey.
Don't.
listen to the
Do
L's
not.
Up podcast. No, just-
Do not.
You're sitting here with two former rappers.
Former for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miles Mulligan and the Lumberjack. So
Well,
Yeah. Did you know that he and by he I mean Zach.
did they call you the lumberjack because they told you to cut that shit out every time you started rapping?
the Lumberjack, THA,
The lumberjack.
The Lumberjack.
Because they told you to cut that shit out.
Because I've been chopping down beats like trees.
Because you make people
Volume 6 coming out.
snore and sound like a saw.
Soon. Volume 6 coming out soon, brother.
If it's not volume 69, I don't want it. All right.
Right.
Rate. I'm going to give it
Right.
a 3.25. Solid beer. I was very pleased with this. I did not think I was going to like it because of the barrel age and the room temperature.
I knew you were going to say it.
I'm just saying. I mean, like I really expected.
He's
it
like,
to
if
be,
this was cold, it'd be a 4.5.
it might. It
To be
might.
fair, we have had 2 listens on this podcast from Germany, so they're probably appreciating the fact that we
Wait,
drink
what?
it warm. Yeah.
What?
We're drinking it at room temp. How
Yeah.
beer is supposed to be enjoyed.
Yeah, crazy.
You know that like beers that you drink, they mask the flavors by chilling them so much. I know that you don't care.
Chill.
He's like, I don't care.
Why
It's
do you
cold
look at
as
me
rock.
like he's the one that drinks more chilled beers?
Yeah,
than
but
me?
I expect more from you.
Well, fuck you.
Listen,
What was that for? What do you mean?
because you're the Miller Lite guy.
Okay.
You're the shitty beer guy.
Bro, all right, my bad. I have 6 Miller Lite shirts, and now I'm the Miller Lite guy. What is this?
If I open up your fridge right now, what's in it?
Nothing.
A Miller Lite shirt.
A Miller Lite shirt?
I didn't work for 9 days in a row, and I did nothing but drink. And I told myself yesterday, I told myself on Friday, I was like, all right, I'm going to get a 12-pack of garage beers to watch the Louisville game. I had a little bit left over.
Did you have to slap somebody's phone out of their hand and break it on the ground to buy the case of beer? No?
I mean, I get it. That was
It's because Zach cosplays as Jason Kelsey.
It does look kind of like him.
I hate both of you.
He's a Carhartt jacket away from being Jason Kelsey.
I'm fine. You know what? To be honest, I'm fine with being Jason Kelsey. Because I went and got my hair cut one time, and I, buzzed my head and, trimmed my beard up, and someone said that I looked like fucking Travis Kelsey, and I about wanted to throw him out the window. So, Jason Kelsey...
You look
I'm fine with that.
you look more like Travis Hunter than Travis Kelsey, motherfucker. Who said Travis Kelsey?
Listen, sometimes...
Yes.
Bro,
You're lying.
All right.
Sorry, I don't have my phone.
Before I give my official rating of this beer, brother, I ain't ever seen you without a stain on your shirt. So I don't want to hear one single thing out of you.
Here's the thing.
With that being said,
Here's the thing. I come straight from work every podcast.
bro, I've seen you outside. You showed up to your own bachelor party with a stain on your shirt.
Probably.
I don't think you own a shirt without a stain on it.
They're all cum.
Anyway, I give this beer I actually agree with you. I give it a strong 3.25. I'm trying to reel back my ratings. That way really good beers can get higher things. I do honestly thoroughly enjoy this, and I could go grab a 6-pack or 4-pack, sorry. It's a metaphor, brother.
Whoever decided 4-packs were a thing was a...
Dude,
Well, generally you see 6-pack 12-ounce beers and then 4-pack 16-ounce beers.
Stupid.
or you can go get a 6-pack.
Don't say it.
Yeah, don't. Just leave it alone. You're only playing into it.
Not the Miller.
I was gonna say
You drink Busch Light.
Hold on.
But I don't like sit here and wear Busch Light shirts,
Hold on.
and I drink Busch, and that's it.
Brother,
Hold on.
I have seen you.
I was literally going to say a six-pack of you can get a 6-pack of 16-ounce garage beers. Who is literally who makes this beer?
Let me just let you know that the propaganda that you are putting up right now
What propaganda?
about Busch
Am I right?
Apple.
Am
No,
I right?
it's Braxton who does garage beer.
Yeah,
What
but Ball
propaganda?
makes both.
I've
Oh,
never.
you're talking about the can.
I've never.
Yes.
I've never given any propaganda other than the fact that I like Busch Apple.
And you drink expired Busch apples.
Bro.
If I could find expired Busch Apple right now, I'd drink all of them.
You're just playing into
100
what I'm saying.
beers.
100 of them.
I like them.
1,000 of them.
I'm- but
I
I'm-
drink 1,000 Busch latte apples.
I would, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like it's the best beer. No, there are
Busch-
craft
the
beers.
apples-
Are
What was your
awesome.
number? What was your number one beer for tailgating?
Was it Busch Apple? Was
Yeah,
it
yes, it was.
Yeah,
But that's for tailgating. It's a great tailgate beer.
I want to throw
And it was a
myself out of
personal.
a window
It
right
was
now.
a personal ranking.
I think in like 2032, we have not made Busch Apple for 8 years.
No, I think they're gonna come back out with it.
And somehow he will have.
They
a few
released
of
an
them.
ad the other day, so I think they're gonna come back out with it. And I'll buy them all.
The first.
It's not the best beer ever, though. I mean, I love all beers.
What's the best beer of all time?
That's hard. I mean, do you have an answer for that?
It's not Busch Apple.
That's not. Wouldn't say that. If I had to pick
We're getting
one,
way off the rails.
if I had to pick
right.
one beer that's the best,
Can it give your?
I give
and
this
then
beer
we'll
a
be done.
3.5. I'm a little higher than both of you guys, but this is a Christmas beer that I always buy
Solid.
every single
Solid.
year. It's solid, it's fantastic, and it's also good for anybody that doesn't traditionally drink barrel-aged beers to get them into barrel-aged
No,
beers.
I will say that
because it
it's
isn't
toned down
it
on
is
the-
not overly tannic and oaky and things of that nature when you can overdo beers like that. Great Lakes is a fantastic brewery. I probably buy a Great Lakes seasonal every time they come out. Their Oktoberfest is fantastic as well.
I think that's why I like it so much is that it's an ale. I feel like the ale tones it down a bit.
Yep.
When you get a barrel-aged stout or porter, they are much heavier and harder to drink.
Yep.
Best beer ever, Pilsner Urquell, if I had to pick one.
Okay.
If I'm
Apple
just,
Apple edition.
I don't think they do that, but
Anyway, thank you for listening. We will. Game was on Saturday, right?
Yep. 12 o'clock.
Okay, so on
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah. We also play Stanford at 3:30.
I thought we were talking about football. I was confused.
Well, both. We play both sports.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me so
crazy
erect.
story. Crazy story. We are.
Yeah, as soon as the Tennessee game ends,
Oh,
we'll be starting the Stanford game, basically.
Anyway, Friday we will be posting a video where we all three talk about how we feel about the Tennessee game, and we will be going for that. So thank you, drinking buddies, and thank you for listening to everything that we have to say. Thank you for being a loyal listener,
That'll
Sticking
get you
through the
drunk.
pain.
and that'll get you drunk.